welcome to I Got Something to Say, Tales of an Awkward Woman. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Do me a favor, like and subscribe to this channel so that way you won't miss not one bit of content we put out. Now today, I got a special guest. I got Jeff.
Hey everybody.
One of my brothers. He agreed to come on and tell us a little bit about his dating experience, along with dropping a little bit of wisdom. He's stirring himself up. And so Jeff, first, thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Thank you for coming on. And so let's start with this interview, right?
Okay.
So, can you give us, tell us about one dating experience that you had?
Oof. Jesus. I guess I can probably speak a little bit about my last dating experience. I was dating a young lady, and this was at the point in my dating career. Well, I don't say if we can call it a career, but in my dating life, that I had gotten to a place where I had decided to date in holiness, and I had really done a lot of the self-work, because I think that before you can do anything involving anybody else in your life, you have to start with the self-work. And once the self-work is done, then you can bring somebody else in. So I had done a lot of that, and so I was dating this young lady. It was going well. I think that the mistake that was made was that we were both pretty good friends before we started dating. And you sometimes may think that because you're friends, you know each other already. So you might have the tendency to move a little bit faster than what you really need to move. Because even though, you could be good friends, but there still may be things that the person hasn't shared, or parts of them that you haven't experienced yet. And so I think in our case, it was just a situation of we moved a little bit too fast, and and there was a lot of trauma and traumatic experiences and things that were happening at the same time. So I think that my lesson I learned from that was to really take time to get to know someone. That's really what the dating experience is supposed to be. Yes, you want to pursue friendship first. I think that that's important, but in the pursuit of friendship, relationship, in the pursuit of whatever, you want to really take time to get to know that person. And I think that it's hard because a lot of people don't really feel comfortable, especially if you're not really comfortable in yourself. You're not going to feel comfortable sharing yourself with somebody else in the dating process. So you will find yourself dating somebody, and then one day it's like, whoa, who are you and how did we get here? Because in the whole dating process, and then sometimes it'll happen, after you all have getting ready to get engaged or something like that, all of a sudden it's like there's a whole brand new situation, because that person really wanted to wait until you gave them a certain level of commitment that they were comfortable with to share who they were. And I think that is backwards. You start with who you are, and then from there, if both people, sharing who they are and they like each other, then from that point we see, can we build something together from that? So that was my big lesson.
That was your big lesson?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. What's one of the things as a man dating a woman, do you find it hard for you to be, vulnerable, or what is some of the things that you find challenging to open up about in a relationship?
So in my story, in my experience, I've always been a pretty, I'll say sensitive, I've always been pretty in touch with my feelings. And so when I was younger, high school, college, that was frowned upon. it's frowned upon a lot. And so I think I just developed, internalizing everything. And so honestly, I think that as a man, it is hard to feel safe and vulnerable with a woman, because as a man, you often will assume or be very fearful that it's going to come back to you in a negative way. But on top of that, if you are a man that has been belittled for having feelings, it's another level on top of that. It's like, I have these feelings, but I don't really know what to do with them, because every time I've expressed them in the past, I'm told that men ain't supposed to do that, men ain't supposed to cry, men ain't supposed to blah, 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 all of that. So then it's like, well, then what am I supposed to do with it? And it's a very, very hard thing to unlearn. That's why therapy is important, because therapy has helped a lot in that regard. But I think that is still something that is hard, just in general, just to share my feelings in general. It's just, I think that's a very hard thing to do, especially if it's a strong feeling or if it's a negative feeling. I think that's a hard thing for men to do.
Okay, that's good, because I know in the relationships, most men aren't able to express their feelings, especially when a woman is like, well, tell me how you feel, and he's just like, I'm cool.
One thing I will say to that is, if a woman really wants her man to be more open with her, it's just important for her to create a safe space for him. And I think a part of that is not trying to force him to share when you're ready for him to share. That's not safe for me. That makes me feel like you're trying to get something out of me and I don't know what you want to do with it. But letting him know, like, hey, I'm here whenever you're ready to share what's going on, whenever you're ready to share how you feel, I got you. I'm just here to listen. I'm not, ain't no judgment. I don't have any, and being able to listen to hear and not listen to respond, because especially if a man is sharing what he's feeling, he's not necessarily looking for a response or like a solution or whatever. It's more so just this is how I feel and I just need a place to release it. I think that, we do a good job of having, some men do a good job of having, surrounding themselves with men that are safe places that they can share certain things with. But I think that it's the same way that my boy is a safe space, and that I know I'm going to tell him how I feel and everything will be fine, versus there are times when you may share with your lady how you feel, and then all of a sudden 2 weeks later it's like, oh, so we're in an argument, and now you're like, oh, so you still blah 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 blah, and then it's like, okay, so see, now I can't tell you nothing anymore, because you just gonna throw it in my face. I think that it's important to just listen, and I think that women can take a page from men's book, because women will tell men everything that's going on in their life. This is what happened at work. This is what happened when I was 2. This is what happened when I was 12. Oh, wow. And like, we hear you, I understand your story. I'm listening. I'm not, I may ask questions to get clarity, but like, okay, you shared it and that's what it is. But I feel like on the reverse, you'll, share something. A woman will ask 13 questions. Like, don't interrogate me. I'm trying to talk.
Maybe she's just trying to understand why you feel what you feel, to help talk you through your emotions.
And I think that is something that you got to ask. Don't just try to do it. I think that if I'm sharing, more than likely, if a man is sharing what he's feeling, he just wants to let you kind of in his head. He doesn't want, he doesn't want help walking through it and figuring it out. I think that especially early on, if it's a man that's very closed off, early on, just hear, just listen. And then as he gets more comfortable, he may ask, well, what do you think? And well, what do you, and then that's when, oh, okay. So I think blah, 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 let me ask this and all of that. I think that it's a process. And I think that patience is the key. Patience is the key. You got to be patient with that man.
That's good information. Now, we're almost running out of time. So real quick, any advice you want to give my viewers to help them out in their dating journey?
Yes. Dating, marriage, that whole thing is not a solution to a problem. I think that people approach dating and marriage like, I don't like this, I don't like that, this is annoying, that's annoying, and so I want this person to make that experience better. That's it. I liken it to getting a car. Like if I'm taking the bus and doing all of this stuff, yes, a car seems good. It's like I'm tired of getting on the bus and waiting for Ubers. I want my own car. But that car is not necessarily a solution to you not wanting to walk in Uber, because now you might have a car note, you got car insurance, there's gas. And so this solution comes equipped with all of these extra problems. So I think that instead of approaching a relationship as a solution to a problem, we really have to, as a math teacher, I think we have to approach relationships like a really complicated word problem. Like it's a lot. It's a lot, but at the end, when everything comes together, it feels so great and so rewarding. But I think going into it with that mindset has you coming into it with from the place of, I'm ready to do the work. Like I understand that there's going to be a lot of work that comes with it, so I'm ready to do the work, versus I'm trying to get into this to do less work because I want this to be a solution to. I think having that mindset helps you to set more realistic expectations of your relationship, more realistic expectations of your partner, and honestly, more realistic expectations of yourself. So I think that mindset shift of, this is not a solution to a problem. This is a word problem, and I need to go step by step so that I can get to the end and feel accomplished and feel like I've, done it well.
That's good. Okay, guys. Thank you, Jeff, for coming on.
Anytime.
That is all the time we have for you. Thank you, and good night.